Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So that gives us strength. And we can see all that imagination of the mind just evaporates like this cut, which is going on so much in the 13.6 and 7. Kshetragya, Kshetra, whatever going on in the mind, subtle body, that evaporates. And see how bhakti happens, how blissful you can practice bhakti.
Prabhuji, just one more thing. It is sometimes sees that if we reveal, then we quickly get out of that conditioning. But if we don't reveal and we continue performing devotional service, then with time also the conditioning evaporates. So, Prabhuji, is this
They
understanding
evaporate.
right?
Yeah, with time, conditioning will evaporate because after some 10 years, you'll feel the need for revealing. But by the time the revelation, by the time it becomes too much piled up, you'll be forced to reveal. Circumstances will come in such a way that you'll be forced to reveal, and that person who is there, you could have told it long back, but now it has gone to that level and it's coming to me now. So, what initially the help would have been given, how it happens in
Hmm.
conditioning now, when it stays with us, it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. That's stitch in time saves nine. So therefore, if you want immediate, it's not that immediate. Again, the conditioning based on how conditioning is, at least how conditioning works is when we deal with it, um, we become drained. If somebody is feeling drained, analysis by paralysis, chanting, a lot of thoughts are coming, reading, hearing thoughts are coming, and you are feeling guilt trip, shame trip. This is because of not learning the art of revealing to others. Mhm. It will take some time actually to understand this. It took some time for me to understand this concept. Similarly, it is also not so easy for all of you to accept it. For some time, it may take some 30 years, 40 years, some it may take 20 years, some it may take one less than that, based on the person's sensitivity. But there is no revealing is not a weakness. It's a strength. They are champions. Those who can reveal, they can really become champions in bhakti. They can really grow in bhakti powerfully because they don't have to meddle with their mind for a long time. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
गुणानान् एतान् अतित्य गुणानान् एतान् अतित्यत्रिन् देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्यु जरा दुःखैर् विमुक्तो अमृतम् अश्नुते. Yes, someone can read this.
When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life.
Yeah. So at our level, how to apply this? It's not with the personal struggle. See, by it's understood, we will get up, we will chant our rounds, we will read Prabhupada books, we will do our sadhana, we will do our seva. But when we add element of revealing to our superiors, this step can be easily achieved. Because why? We are trusting someone beyond our own self. We are going to the higher self, somebody who has much more experience. And when we reveal that, then what happens is that clutter which is there in your mind, the mode of ignorance passion is doing, that gets completely cleared off. Cut. Then he tells, the superior comes and tells you, oh, don't worry about it. Just leave it. When he tells, just leave it, that goes like this, leave it. Otherwise, in your mind, you go, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What will happen? What will the consequences? Oh, you become so much feared. And suddenly when you go and open, oh, it's not a big thing. Just no issue. Just ignore and continue with the service. That is how it works. I'm just saying out small steps. Like this, we keep on going on in bhakti with practicing and revealing and confidence, practicing and revealing. Not that revealing means you have to go to all equals and all Surya. Should have one or two people one person in your life whom you reveal. And he also understands. And what is it needed? Sajatya, Svatavara, and Snigdha. Then we can see the effect of this. The embodied being is able to transcend these three modes with the material body. we can declutter with our thought process. We can understand these emotions, this thought process which is there. It is not me. It is different from me. It's a conditioning, and I have to learn to deal with it. I don't have to identify with it. When you don't identify with it, then I see that okay, let me go on with my chanting, let me go on with my hearing, let me go on with my services. When we identify with it, we also become what? Sickly. Because when you identify the modes, we also have to take the quality of that modes. But we don't identify that modes, then we become resilient in bhakti. Despite good weather, bad weather, we continue understanding this is what how modes work. And how to see modes, I'll tell you. When you do some service, when comparing comes, understand the mode of passion has become active. When you start, because of some anartha has come and you're trying to beat yourself, oh, I'm such a rascal, I'm follow Krishna, please protect me, this, that. Understand the mode of ignorance has come. When you don't reveal and keep on just praying, 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 then that is what we are trying to degenerate to mode of ignorance. Because Krishna is all pure, the soul is all pure, and He has given you devotees whom we can go and reveal. But rather than that, for that anarthas, we are not having anyone around us whom we can go and speak out. It's such a lonely world. What will happen? We may speak out to Prabhupada, we may go speak to Krishna, that's fine. But that the energy of that is eating us from inside. Like that wolf, you remember that wolf, the hunter goes to hunt for a wolf or a fox, and suddenly the range forest officer comes, RFO, and suddenly he puts the wolf inside his uh, clothing behind. But the wolf is not completely injured, it's not killed, it is awake, and that wolf starts eating his intestine. And by the time the RFO goes, this fellow falls apart and the wolf escapes. That is how our skeptical mind can make us by not making us to reveal. Okay. So he can become free from birth, old age, disease, and death. Because we don't have to meddle with our mind forever. Yes.
Guruji,
Someone.
here you said, yeah, Guruji, can I ask one thing? Yeah, so Prabhuji, sometimes it is said that we should not dump everything on the superior. We should use our intelligence. So when to understand, use our intelligence, and at what point should we reveal? Because sometimes, Prabhuji, if we are facing some anartha, we may use some scriptural statement or some Vaishno song, some statement of Vaishno song may help us through that particular obstacle. And at what point should come, then we should finally open our heart. How to understand it?
See, when anartha is recurring, when we come to bhakti, we know which anarthas are there prevalent. And for what anartha are we all know for what anartha we are praying, we are doing this sloka recitation, all those things. Yes, we know it, right? Such anartha we should go and reveal. At least in the beginning. And when you start revealing, when the relationship becomes strong, then you will get so much hope that superior will only tell, Baba, you don't come to me for all these things. Till the time superior doesn't tell you, Baba, this is not such a big thing, no issue. If it tells that to you, then you stop that. Then you can try to work with your own weapons or with your own practice. Okay?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, someone can read this.
How one can stay in the transcendental position, even in this body, in full Krishna consciousness, is explained in this verse. The Sanskrit word dehi means embodied. Although one is within this material body, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can be free from the influence of the modes of nature. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body because after leaving this body, he is certainly going to the spiritual sky. But even in this body, he can enjoy spiritual happiness. In other words, devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the sign of liberation from material entanglement. And this will be explained in the 18th chapter. When one is freed from the influence of the modes of material nature, he enters into devotional service.
Yeah. So therefore, even in this body, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can free from influence of the modes of nature. What it means? That I'm separate from this gross body, I'm separate from this subtle body, I'm pure spirit soul. And all this covering are external to me. And whatever interactions are happening in this thing, they should not become heavy on us when we deal with that. When we keep on dealing with that, that keeps on becoming heavy, 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 and we only start thinking, oh, this anartha is there, let me not skip the dinner. This anartha is there, so what should I do? So trying to do those things is like when there is a fog and you're trying to fight with someone, or you're trying to drive on a highway when there is a lot of fog, like in Delhi. So can we speed up with a vehicle we are trying to drive, or we are in a four-wheeler or a two-wheeler, and there is a lot of fog in the whole environment? What is the speed we can go with?
10,
Obvious,
15 kilometers. But
very less. So similarly, when we come to bhakti and we try to analyze ourselves, first thing is self-awareness. But after that, once we start understanding what are the things which are anartha, artha means valuable, anartha means invaluable. Like in our home, when we are trying to cook, we are trying to peel, we are trying to cut sabji, all the coverings of all those things, when you cook, that is artha. And whichever is remaining, the waste or the recycling products we put in garden, that is anartha. So anarthas are not meant to be kept in our mind. Trying to cultivate them. We are not here for cultivating anarthas. As soon as we see a rat, as soon as we see something which is a pest, what we do in the home? We put a rat trap and try to immediately send it outside, right? Go 10 kilometers away and try to put it and come. Or when you're trying to make some sabji or some cooking anything, whenever there is all the byproducts of that, what we try to do, cut it and we throw in dustbin or we throw in some garden so that it gives some fertilizer. But that is the same way we have to do with the anarthas which we are facing. Should not wait. Let's your superior decide, okay, whether you're coming, you're like a baby or your baba. Baby means, okay, for every small thing, should I go for passing urine? Should I go for, eating food? All those things you may not ask to your superior. Or should I, how should I study? All those things, that is another thing, okay. That you can even ask for your own seniors, immediate seniors, other things. What I'm speaking here is of when you're trying to practice Krishna consciousness, we have a conditioning, whether it is small conditioning, whether heavy conditioning, trying to find faults in others. Sitting and chanting, and as I'm chanting, you're saying, oh, this devotee is sleeping, that devotee is sleeping, oh, I'm not sleeping, oh, very nice. This is a fault finding. Or so we are trying to do services, and somebody is doing amazing service, and we are like becoming very, very envious of him. This is coming from where? Comparison. It's coming from passion, ignorance. All these are anarthas. And this has to be dealt with. This will not go like that. Don't think just by chanting Hare Krishna, reading Prabhupada book, yeah, this will get purified. This is like that, sabji, when you cut a sabji, the peel of a banana or a peel of a lauki and other things. If you don't throw it out, it's going to rot it there. It's going to rot. The best place for that is dustbin. So best place for this is to peel it out and send it out of a system. And how to do that? That comes by revealing. So similarly, although one is within the material body, by spiritual advancement, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can free from the influence of the modes of nature. This is the meaning of freeing, trying to uncover the peels. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body. So when we come to the point that none of the people around me are creating any problem to me. Any problem has been created, it is because of my own uncontrolled mind and senses. And that uncontrolled mind and senses is also not a problem. That which is making me not to approach my superiors for all these anarthas, that is the issue. And knowledge, and if he comes to that knowledge, yes, I need to approach, he can free from the influence of the modes of nature. You can see the advancement becomes very, very swift. Even in this body, it doesn't have to go to spiritual world. Some conditionings will be there, but yeah, we'll have to do a little more bhakti. 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year. But doing bhakti with the conditioning is like, driving on a highway with the fog and trying to reveal it and the revealing is like, trying to drive on a highway when there is sun. There's a big difference. So when it's freed from the influence of modes of mental nature, he enters into devotional service. Then we can enter into devotional service.
Prabhuji, you mentioned the three qualities from which we should understand whom to share. Sajatiya, Snigdha, and Swatavar, you shared, I guess.
Satovar. Satovar.
Satovar. So, Prabhuji, and as you mentioned, we obviously we have just pick one person superior or even equal also, like practice at least 3 4 years in bhakti. But sometimes, Prabhu, our mind plays in such incidents ki okay, he gave some advice, but it is not relatable with me, and we have shared something. And sometimes it also happens, Prabhu, ki we've shared, but the uh, although the three qualities seem to be there that we thought, but somehow the guy might not be so much relatable or so much what we can say interested in the fact. Sometimes it happens. He's interested, but it seems to mind sometimes. So in such cases, should we approach another or or what? Prabhu? How to?
See, it's basically very simple. See, accept Diksha Guru and founder-acharya, Prabhupada. When we begin to bhakti, some facility comes to us second year, third year devotee. After some time, you get a caretaker or a caregiver. Then you get a counselor. These we have these devotees who can guide us. But in every year, when congregation and your Brahmacharya ashram, every year in the month of June, we have this thing, counselor shuffling. If somebody feels okay, they are unable to relate or they are unable to connect. So you can have a chance, okay, you can have observed because it's a big sangha of Vaishnavas. So it's like again, for your understanding, when you go to supermarket, now understand which self you have to go or which brand you have to take. There are different brand each people wear because variety is the mother of enjoyment. The same thing is applicable for bhakti. So what is meaning is we have a variety of people and we are individuals. So what individual is able to connect to some particular person, then there is nothing wrong in going and expressing to present counselor and going and telling people, okay, this somehow I'm not able to connect to. There is no harm in it. It is actually it's honesty because the whole thing is that we should be able to overcome our anartha by revealing. And if you are able to do with any person, if you get any person on the globe and understand you are a fortunate soul. But also that should be Sajatiya, Satovara and Snigdha category. Okay? Yes. Arjuna Ivacha Kairlinge Strin Guna Kairlinge Strin Gunan Etan Atito Kairlinge Strin Gunan Etan Atito Bhavito Prabhu Kimachara Katam Chaitams Trin Gunanavi Ativartate. Yes, we can read quickly.
Arjuna
Arjun
inquired.
inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature?
So, how to understand who has transcended the modes of nature? Huh. A very simple thing. Uh, there is no reactive. He doesn't react. Proactive. He becomes proactive. That is one of the symptoms. But again, let's see what Prabhupada mentioned in this purport. Yeah, somebody can read.
In this verse, Arjuna's questions are very appropriate. He wants to know the symptoms of a person who has already transcended the material modes. He first inquires of the symptoms of such a transcendental person. How can one understand that he has already transcended the influence of modes of material nature? The second question asks how he lives and what his activities are. Are they regulated or unregulated? Then Arjuna inquires of the means by which he can attain the transcendental nature. This is very important. Unless one knows the direct means by which one can be situated always transcendentally, there is no possibility of showing the symptoms. So all these questions put by Arjuna are very important, and the Lord answers them.
So that this is a question. Unless one knows the right means by which one can be situated always transcendentally, there is no possibility of showing the symptoms. So he should be always transcendental. So all these questions put by Arjuna are very important and Lord answers. So here Chakravartipad says, this is the same question asked in the chapter 2. So how to understand who is transcendent modes? Sthita prajnasya ka bhasa. Please describe Sthita prajna. However, out of extreme desire to know, Arjuna asks again. One question is, by what symptom should one understand a person is beyond the gunas? Kerlinger. The second question is, what is his behavior? Kim acharaha. The third question is, what is the means of attaining the transcendence of the gunas? Transcendence of the gunas. Katam cha etan. And Arjuna asks this question. So what are the questions? What are the symptoms? What is the behavior? And what is the means of attaining transcendence? How one can transcend the goal? How one can what is symptom of person who is transcended? What is his behavior? And how one can transcend these gunas? Or what is the means to transcend these gunas? That is the question. So here when Arjuna asks this question, chapter 2 did not ask how a person could transcend the gunas. But now he asks the question. There he only asked what is symptoms and what is behavior. Now he's asking another thing. What are the means for transcending the gunas? Because there the gunas are not mentioned. He only mentioned about the behavior of a perfect Sitadhira Muni. Sapragya. Okay. So any questions? So we will
Prabhuji, this
22.
thing has been observed ki Arjuna like in the second chapter also, like the Sthita Pragya also, or in the I guess in the middle chapter also, he again and again asked the same question: ki what is the symptoms and what is the behavior of that person? So forgot what I want to ask. Sorry, sorry, Prabhuji. We'll
No, no,
recollect it and ask.
I think you wanted to ask this, that it is already asked in second chapter. And again it is coming here. Why it is come again? If that is your question,
No, Prabhuji, not exactly.
the second
Sorry.
question it's asked only about the description. Here it is also being described the means how to one can become Sthita Prajna, how one can transcend the modes.
Actually, I wanted to understand, Prabhuji, ki how Arjuna is trying to have conversation with the Lord, and in what means he's trying to get most of it.
Huh. Very simple. He has understood his vulnerable position. He's thinking he's not a Superman. He's not thinking that he's a yogi or he's a jnani where he can control on his own and try to speculate on his own. He tried doing in first chapter, but after doing that, then his throat started evaporating and everything. He was at a dead end. Then he understood. Let me now.
Surrender.
Sishyaste ham tam sadip mam tam prapannam.
Open.
So we have to become Shishya. I'll just tell this. Again, it is a interaction. It's not so easy to practice. One devotee came to me long back when I was in NIT Tirshi. Prabhuji, can we have two counselors? Then I replied to him, we already have. Your question should be, can we have three counselors? And he was like saying to me, our mind is first counselor. Or a counselor on the paper is our second counselor. And therefore, question should be a third counselor. So therefore, then he was like, started laughing. So similarly, what is my thing is, if we really want to transcend the modes, we can utilize our mind for analyzing awareness. But when it comes to anarthas, when it comes to dealing with it, we cannot. Because even one of the many people say, I think it's Einstein's one of the law. The problem arising from the same level cannot be solved from the same level. It has to be having a higher intellectual. When a person, even if somebody, even it might be, if somebody is sincerely practicing, even if it's, and again, it's not, again, counseling or caretaking, it's not just one can go and reveal to anyone. It's art, it's training, there has to be empathy, there has to be friendship, and there has to be encouragement. All these three things has to be combined. Also, one will be chastised, but the chastisement should be with an affection for the devotee to grow. When that feeling is given to the people who are coming to us, then they really feel, okay, I can open up, and that this devotee understands me. That should be the culture of art of revealing the heart, not the culture of fear. If you reveal what will happen, okay, this send him out of the center, or they do this, do that. No, no, I'm not like that. When there is love, the revealing happens automatically. Okay, so with this I'll end. We'll continue the next tomorrow. This is very much intricately connected. Sisa Pragnasya and this three modes is very much intricately connected with how we deal with a subtle body. The whole thing is making mind or counsel is nothing but trusting the mind. I'm not telling you should not trust mind and become for everything you have to go to superior. That is not a thing. For see, in whatever you want to, you are working, you want to invest something. You go to the expert of that. Who is that expert? Okay, might be going to Gopala Gavan Pro, somebody from Anandana Pro, somebody who can tell how to invest in mutual fund. You want to take some land and you want to invest something. You go to that particular expert. If you want to learn, if you want to do PhD in something, you want to do PhD from BV or BRC, you may to go to Balbat Kripa Prabhu, or you may go and have a word with Gaurang Prabhu or somebody who in that category who are trying to start the BRC activities in that. Similarly, when it comes to our own elevation, transcending, there is any devotee whom we are connected to. First thing is connection. The connection should be strong. Then that is expertise needed in that. The bonding, not the fear factor, the love factor. That should be there. Then this becomes very fast. Okay?
Prabhuji, I have just one small question. So, Prabhuji, if I am again confirming my understanding. So, Prabhuji, if suppose one is getting the answer of his anartha through Prabhupada book, like Prabhupada is directly speaking, and he is satisfied with the answer, so one should not reveal in that case. But if the anartha is recurring, then only one should reveal, right, Prabhuji? Is this right? So,
Yeah.
सपोज अगर वो सेटिस्फाई हो गया, मतलब एक अनर्था फेस कर रहा है, प्रभुपाद की बुक पढ़ और उसको स्ट्राइक हो गया पॉइंट कि अरे मैं यहाँ पे गलत था, नहीं सेटिस्फाइड, सो
Yeah. It's up
But
to
he might recur again also, na Prabhu. That doesn't mean he got the answer, he might not commit, right?
अगर बार बार हो रहा है इसका मतलब रिवील करना पड़ेगा, है ना प्रभु जी?
Agar if you ask me, na, not revealing anartha is a weakness. It's a weakness, spiritual weakness. No, I'm not telling. It's not. It's a very serious thing actually. Why? Because we are having a matlab our subtle body is very. It's a defense system. Like Iran, Iraq war is going on. Israel is having powerful defense system. Anybody, anything comes, cut. Usko kaat do. So similarly, since childhood now we have a very defense system. We have a very fragile inner self. What is that? We don't want anyone to chastise us or to see us. Sorry, this is also having an artha. He also have this. But actually, that is how it doesn't work at all. When we understand we have anarthas, and when we share with others, especially superiors, that is not weakness. It is strength. It is actually strength. And yeah, your question, if we are able to get in Prabhupada books, fine. Yeah, Prabhupada has revealed it to you. But again, what you'll get from by reading your book, a superior or somebody who's guiding you already has read through that, he has gone through that, and he has gone through that system. So it becomes even more quicker. That is my answer. So there is no substitute for revealing. If you ask again, this is one step. So therefore, this is I think this is a new concept which we are discussing here. That revealing is strength, whether it is small, whether it is big. And if we can get it in proper book, it's fine. But if we rely on proper book, if we rely on chanting, it may take some more time. It will work. It will take some time.
But if we rely on superior, then it will be quick. We don't have to struggle more than.
Yeah. And that struggle energy which you would have struggled, you could have gained much more pulse of wisdom. That is how Gurukul system is to work. And the defense system which we are having, let us freeze it, let us lower it. Then we can see the miracles, how things happen in life. It is a very hope. It's a new venture actually. We can see how life changes after that. Really, life changes. Because we imagine a lot of things. Mind magnifies a lot of things. Problem with what is a when we have a simple thing another in our mind now, mind takes it from pillar to post. But when revealed, immediately it becomes like this. Cut. Okay. Khatam. Why? Because we become aware. Mind becomes aware. Subtle body becomes aware. Now this anartha is not just in my mind. Some one more devotee is aware of it. And then the interactions of that kshetra, that frequency starts reducing. Or you are completely freed of that mental block which was occupying your mind. And that recurring, the chance of which becoming recurring. Again it recurs, no issue. Happily you can go and reveal. And you can see very soon that thing will disappear. Or you will practice bhakti without any remorse. Okay?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Today we are very grateful to you that you realize means it's complete realized knowledge. It seems by you. You are speaking from
Yes,
realization.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
I
Prabhuji.
think I'm saying I have learned it from my subordinates. Because as a superior, when I see my subordinates who are coming and revealing to me, my empathy, those who come and reveal to me, I have much more respect for them and I have much more connection for them, and I really see this is what I should learn from them actually. It's not that I've lost any respect for them and as soon as they message, I immediately reply to it and I'm connect to them on a very powerful way. So that gave me think that if this is what I do with the superior, that means this is what kind of grace I'll also attract from superior. So I'm also work in progress. So this is like my contemplation, which I'm sharing with all of you. Hmm? And this can help us a lot to come to Sitaparna level or try to transcend the modes very soon. Hmm? चलो, हरि बोल, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.